Good morning, everybody, and this is Louise Eddington, the Cosmic Owl of Cosmic Owl Astrology. What a week we have ahead. I'm not going to talk about the whole week, but this is the video I do for my members 5 days a week, sometimes more. Plus they get other things as well. So if you enjoy the video, please consider subscribing to my Cosmic Owl community. My link is below. Also, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and maybe hit that little bell next to it so you get notified when I upload new videos, because I am doing a lot more video this year. But also, my Venus retrograde class starts on Wednesday. And honestly, it's magical, it's alchemical, it's so healing. So the Venus retrograde is, Venus goes retrograde on Wednesday in Gemini. The last time Venus was retrograde in Gemini was 8 years ago, and 8 years before that. And each retrograde is different. And my Venus retrograde journey class has become my signature kind of favorite thing to do. And in it, I combine my astrology and my shamanic practitioner skills, which I am very good at hiding generally. But you'll be doing a lot of shamanic healing, a lot of shamanic getting to feel the energies within you and getting to understand how they work within you, rather than it just being a cerebral kind of, these words mean this and these words mean that. It's much more meaningful when you really tune into the energies of the universe. So consider joining that. The first call is at 2 p.m. Mountain on Wednesday the 13th. All calls recorded. There's a Facebook group. There's a Dragon Riders group for those who are really ready to dig in, where you get one-on-one work with me on your own astrology and some group work. And there's 5 spots left in that. So I'll put the link for that below as well. But on to the astrology for today. Whoa. Okay. We have Saturn is now retrograde, people, but really Saturn is standing still. He officially stationed retrograde late last night, 9:38 p.m. Mountain time, so less than 12 hours ago. So he's at a standstill. And boy, do I feel it, and you may too. But other things we have going on today is that Mercury is right there at the very last degree of Taurus, and has been or is in a square all day to Mars in Aquarius. And that's a very ouchy kind of aspect. But I want to talk about more than just the ouch factor. Mars square Mercury is like action and will, and your voice, your communication. Mercury in Taurus can be a bit ponderous, a bit fixed in ideas, but there's more to it than that. Mars in Aquarius is wanting to take action, to really kind of move forward to the future. But then we have 4 planets or 4 planetary bodies stationing retrograde this week, starting with Saturn last night, Venus on Wednesday, Jupiter on May the 14th, early on May the 14th, and Pallas Athena on May the 17th. So we've got a lot of kind of energy going on in the sky. Just stop and review and reflect. And then Mars is going, I want to go. But let me show you something else, okay? I want to show you what's happening with... I'm going to share something else. I've talked about it to my members a lot, but I always think it's helpful to see it on the side. So here we have solar system scope, and this is where the planets are right now. So there's our Earth, okay, and we can see that Venus is starting to head between the Earth and the Sun, and that's what happens when Venus goes in retrograde. She dips down from evening star, blinded by the sun, comes between the Earth and the Sun, and from our perspective appears to go backwards, but she dips from view. But today, Mercury square Mars. Look where Mercury is. So let me see if I can, oh yeah, I can shift it. So I want to shift it round so that you can see that the Earth is over there. Mercury's here. Mercury is just about to become visible to the Earth again. At the moment, Mercury's been hidden behind the Sun from our perspective. She just had her exterior conjunction, which means that Mercury was on the other side of the Sun when the Mercury and the Sun were perfectly aligned from our perspective. But look at this also. If we move it round again, we've had Mercury square Mars early this morning, but they can't see each other either. This is really frustrating. Okay, Mercury is under what's called combust, or under the beams of the Sun, and really won't fully emerge for a couple of days yet. I'm not exactly sure when it is, so we can try and move it forward from our perspective. So this tends to move too fast for me, and I've never figured out how to slow it down. Oh, it's not playing. Oh, it is playing. So we can see that by 31st of May, Mercury is fully visible. But if we move back to, and just move it back. Oh. It's going backwards. I want to go forwards. Oh, forget that. I'll go back to actual time, and I'm going to go forward. All right, that's better. Oh, it still went back to the wrong time. Forget it. Mercury will move around that way. It's just a software glitch. Me and this software, I've not figured out how to slow it down yet. I need to practice more on this solar system scope, which incidentally is a free software if you want to download it. It's I love seeing where things are. But basically what I'm saying is that Mercury is going to move out from under the beams of the Sun and be fully visible to us from the Earth. And that's when Mercury's influence will be felt more again. For quite some time now, although luckily Mercury's moving quickly on the exterior conjunction, it's like our thoughts are being burned out. Okay, it's I don't know about you, but I feel myself really, I'm going to stop this share. I feel myself really changing. I feel myself, my thoughts becoming, like I use the phrase, and I have various things happening in my own chart, but I've had various things like I just like I know nothing. It's like I've got all this conflicting information is coming at us right now, and who knows what's true. I'm not turning into a conspiracy theorist, don't worry, but it's just kind of just like, oh, there's so much, and it's almost impossible to know which is true. Now, so Mercury will move to later today. So we had that square. So my point was that Mercury and Mars cannot see each other. So even though it's an ouchy thing, Mars is going, I don't know which way to go because I can't think straight. It's like this really frustrating, I have no idea what to think anymore. And we've got all the conflicting things about the virus, and politically we've got people saying one thing and everybody's right, and the South Node in Sagittarius is saying let go of that need to be right. And this is heading on to my ascendant, so I find myself not sharing. I find myself just stepping back into observer mode and going, holy cow, I do not know what to think or what to do anymore. and that's okay, because pretty soon it's going to all kind of clear up, and we'll be able to start sifting through the information. But today is frustrating. Saturn is like a big old break. We've got the other planets and Pallas Athena all stationing retrograde too. It's a real week for changing direction, but right now we're in this like still like I don't know where to go point from my eye feels like. So later today, though, I'm going to show you on here. Oh, Mercury moves into the sign he rules, Gemini. Okay. And look now, he's almost 9 degrees away from the sun. Now, some say it can be up to 15 degrees till he's fully visible. I'm not sure. Let's say between 8 and 15 degrees, Mercury starts to become visible. So, and because Mercury rules Gemini, he becomes more comfortable, because Mercury in Taurus can be very fixed ideas and very ponderous in thought, and very like, no, this is what it should be. And all those fixed ideas have been burned out by the sun because of this is where the exterior conjunction was in Taurus. It's saying let go, like just stop with those fixed ideas, because nothing is always how it seems, and you might know more than you know, but you might also know less than you know. So, or you think you know. So there was all that going on. And then, of course, we have Venus stationing on May the 13th. So in 2 days' time, Venus is almost to the minute where she will station. So Mercury and Venus are going to start moving towards each other. Then we have the North Node in Gemini that's really asking us to develop a healthy curiosity. So we have a lot of change coming. We're going to start sifting through all this information. But right now, we're in this like void, if you like. This week is kind of going to be a bit tough, I think. There's going to be those who are stuck with their rigid ideas. There's going to be those that are open to letting go. There's going to be those that step back into observer mode, which is how I feel. I'm not promising not to share anything, but I literally, I looked at several posts this morning, and normally I would have been like sharing them all over Facebook. And I was just like, I don't actually want to share them. I don't actually want to share this and listen to all these conflicting ideas. I'm just going to read them and sift them in, save them up for when I can really start to decipher them. Okay. So that's kind of what's going on. We also have, to go back to where we are now, the moon's in Capricorn today, thankfully, but then again, that's also a little bit like distant emotionally. It does help us to keep our feet on the ground, though. We're firmly rooted, and to a degree, a bit too rooted somewhat, but that's okay. It's going to pass, as these things always do. So the moon in Capricorn is going to come up and is going to trine the sun, and then conjoin Pluto. It's also going to make a sextile aspect to Neptune. So the moon is just going, okay, just keep plodding forward, doing what you need to do. Moon in Capricorn can be very diligent. And so it's a good day for just getting your head down and just doing your work, or, doing some hard work, if you like. The moon, the Capricorn, is very much about ambition and climbing, and very kind of one step at a time. So it's a very good day to do that. As the moon approaches Pluto and squares Eris, and Mercury moves into Gemini this evening, everything might get a bit more emotional. I think we're going to feel the move of Mercury into Gemini quite keenly. You might have an overactive mind tonight, and it might feel a little bit emotional. Well, quite a bit. as Pluto and Eris are aspected by the moon. You know, you may have some deep thoughts coming up around what's going on in the world and your relationship to that outer world. So just know that as well, that, you know, it could be a little bit like some deep shadows coming up to kind of really think about overnight. And then as we move through the night into Tuesday, the moon will then conjunct Jupiter early in the morning tomorrow, and that's always expanded. So anything that comes up with when the moon hits Pluto and Eris will be expanded. All right, and then by early morning, early tomorrow, the moon will move into, well, early mountain time, Salt Lake City time. The moon will move into Aquarius and then hit these two. And remember, Saturn is still going to be at the point he stationed retrograde at. Pallas is stationing to turn retrograde on the 17th, so only in 5 days' time. So again, it's another bit of a brick wall. I really feel overall we're being asked to stop, step back into observer mode, file all this information in your mind, or do morning pages or something, but stop spouting and putting it out there all the time now, because it's getting a bit much. You know, there's so many experts. Some people think they know they're doing the right thing for opening the country up. Some people like are doing the right thing. We should all wear masks whenever we just leave the house. It's very polarized, very extreme at the moment. I talked a lot last week about beginner mind and the middle way. It's a good way to step back and really just kind of even make lists of pros and cons right now, but not make any major decisions. Once all the planets have turned retrograde, we do have some more turning retrograde in June. Ceres is going to turn retrograde, Neptune as well. But once everything settles into retrograde, we'll be reviewing a lot over the summer. But right now we're in this like limbo. I called my post today limbo. So anyway, that's it for today. Welcome to anybody who's not a member to listen to this one. Again, either please consider becoming a member or joining my Venus class. A little hint is that members can get a discount on the class. And so, you know, there's 2 ways of doing that. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit that little bell so you get notified when I upload new recordings. Thanks so much and have an awesome day.